I've never been one for ghost stories. Demons, spirits, all that stuff. I always thought it was just folklore, something people made up to explain the bumps in the night. That was before I met her, before she started visiting me. It all started a few months after my last relationship imploded. The breakup was rough, and the loneliness that followed was even worse. I'd come home to my silent apartment, the quiet so loud it felt like it was screaming at me. I'd just sit there, staring at the walls, wondering what was so wrong with me that love always seemed to slip through my fingers. I kept telling myself I was fine, that I enjoyed the solitude, but that's a lie you can only tell yourself for so long before the silence starts to whisper back. And then, one night, it did. I dreamt I wasn't alone anymore. There was a woman in my room. I couldn't see her clearly, just a silhouette in the dark, but I could feel her presence. Her voice was like velvet, her touch was gentle, and her eyes, they had this soft, ethereal glow. She told me she heard my thoughts, my desperate longing for connection. She said she could give me what I wanted most: comfort, warmth, love. When I woke up, the feeling of her warmth lingered on the sheets next to me, so vivid, so real. I tried to dismiss it as just a dream, a creation of my lonely mind. But she came back the next night, and the night after that. Her presence grew stronger each time. I could feel her lips on my skin, hear her whisper my name right next to my ear. My heart would start pounding in my chest, a feeling I hadn't experienced in years. I didn't question it. Honestly, I didn't want to. I finally had what I'd been missing. I felt wanted again. But dreams, especially ones that feel too good to be true, have a way of turning sour. It began subtly. I'd wake up feeling completely drained, like I hadn't slept at all. Then came the strange, unexplainable bruises on my chest and neck. My appetite disappeared. My skin grew pale. At work, my colleagues started asking if I was feeling okay, if I was sick. I'd just laugh it off, but deep down, a cold dread was starting to form. I knew something was wrong. The turning point came one night when she was leaning over me. In a sliver of moonlight, I saw her face clearly for the first time. It wasn't beautiful anymore. Her eyes were hollow, black pits, and her smile was stretched unnaturally wide, a cruel slash in the dark. Her hands, which once felt so soft, were now like talons, digging into my skin. A primal fear shot through me and I tried to pull away, but she just held me tighter. Her voice, no longer soft, hissed in my ear. "You called me. You needed me. I'm only giving you what you asked for." That night, sleep was impossible. I spent the hours until dawn in the kitchen, every light in the apartment blazing, my body trembling uncontrollably. I tried to reason with myself, to convince myself it was just a severe nightmare, brought on by stress and loneliness. But when I looked in the bathroom mirror, the fresh, angry scratches across my arms told a different story. The next day, on a desperate whim, I went to the library. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but I found myself in the occult section, my fingers tracing the spines of old, dusty books. The titles jumped out at me: Spiritual Visitations, Night Terrors and Demonic Entities, The Succubus Phenomenon. That last word sent an icy chill down my spine. I grabbed the book and sat there for hours, completely engrossed. The stories inside were terrifyingly familiar. Lonely men, broken-hearted and desperate, visited in their sleep by entities that promised love and affection, only to slowly drain their life force, their very souls. Every page I turned felt like I was reading my own biography. It was a mirror reflecting my darkest fears. Still searching for answers, I found a small local bookstore that specialized in the obscure. The man behind the counter was older, with deep-set, knowing eyes. He listened to my rambling, half-coherent story without interruption. When I finished, he looked at me for a long, quiet moment and said, "You're not crazy. They are drawn to those who ache the loudest. Your desire was a beacon in the dark." He handed me a heavy book bound in cracked, worn leather and whispered, "The most important thing is this. Don't invite her. Don't speak her name. And whatever you do, don't give her what she asks for." Armed with this sliver of hope, I went home and prepared for war. I tore up anything that reminded me of her, cleansing my mind of her memory. That night I stayed awake, surrounded by lit candles and circles of salt I'd read about. But she came anyway, and she was furious. She still had that beautiful form, but underneath I could see the monster. "Why are you denying me?" she hissed, her voice dripping with venom. "You wanted love. I am love." This time, her touch burned like fire, her nails carving symbols I couldn't comprehend into my chest. I finally found my voice and screamed, telling her to get out, to leave me alone. For a split second, she looked hurt. Her expression softened, and she said almost sadly, "You can't unmake what you've invited," before fading back into the shadows. She doesn't come every night now, but the peace is fleeting. Some nights, just as I'm about to drift off, I feel it. A sudden dip in the mattress, the weight of someone sitting on the edge of the bed. A cold whisper at my ear, the ghost of a fingertip tracing the scars she left behind. I keep the lights on now. Sleep is a luxury I can't afford. The doctors I've seen say I'm suffering from extreme night terrors, that it's all psychological, a product of trauma and stress. But they didn't see her. They didn't feel her touch. I think the man in the bookstore was right. I think I called her to me without ever saying a word. That every night I looked in the mirror and hated the lonely man looking back. She heard me. And the most terrifying part? I think she's still listening. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever experienced anything like this, or just enjoy tales of the unexplained, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It lets me know you're out there. Stay safe.